And what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Panthers Nation Network. Took a couple days to really just sit with our thoughts and our feelings and our questions and concerns because there are quite a lot of them. I really don't know what in the world. I don't know what happened.
I mean, we saw a team that I think many people felt still didn't get enough work in the preseason. When you, I think that a lot of minor issues mounted up to big issues for us up there in the end. And I mean, ultimately, it's not as bad as people would think. That's what I will say. I don't believe it's as bad. It can't be as bad as last year, right? Like, you didn't get dropped off 47-10. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is.
You know, you say that, but like, and they all, for the fact of the matter, they said they were like shocked. You know, they all said they were like shocked with how they came out and how it went. And I'm like, so what is that to say? Like, were you not as prepared as you thought you were? Were you thinking you were more prepared and then you came out and got hit in the mouth and realized, oh, we don't have it, which is fine to say. But when you're playing the Jaguars, that's where I'm like, what do you like? What were you not prepared for?
It's hard to win the NFL regardless of who you play. That game, though, felt like it was one for the taking. I think that may be the worst team you may see for a while until the season gets. I mean, probably to the Saints.
Yeah.
Like, literally until the Saints, I think that's the worst team you will probably see. So not being able to get it done against that group does raise some concerns. But I mean, again, the NFL is a week-to-week league. We get another shot at it on Sunday. Hey, they can surprise us.
And now it'll have to. But that's the thing; it shouldn't be a surprise, right? Like, you had all of this momentum, I guess, from at least a momentum of a presence of thought that you were making positive strides, and obviously the preseason was a little bit more of a coming back down to earth moment when you had it go down the way you did. And that's, I think, going to be the early calling card to say, okay, this is why things didn't go well, because you did not treat the preseason with like any sort of urgency.
But we talked about it here in the pre-show, and like, Matt's over there, he mentioned it. Like, when you lose two of your top two targets 48 hours like within like a 48-hour span during the first week of the first game, it is a lot to try to adjust to, because I think not having Jalen Coker out there makes a huge difference. We can just go ahead and say it. That's your wide receiver too until further notice.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even the question.
Yeah.
Like, Teteroa McMillan, I think, stand himself as wide receiver 1. Jalen Coker's wide receiver 2. I think not having your second best receiving option out there played a huge part in why the offense looked out of sync for pretty much the entirety of the game.
Yeah, and that's where I get on Canales a little bit. You had, he was adamant all off season saying this was like it was like a basketball team, right? And he's got guys he can run in certain situations, whether it be from wide receivers and tight ends as well, or even running backs out to the sides. And then you get to that point, okay, like, you trade away Thielen with the presence of the understanding that we can do without him. We're going to get something for him. We can do without him. We don't need him there. Obviously, they don't know the Coker situation is going to come to pass, even though, there was concerns apparently that Canales had about his conditioning in the offseason.
Right.
So then you turn around and also go and double down on yourself by saying you cut Renfro because he wasn't there physically where you wanted him to be, and then once you have to now re-sign him as a...
Now he's starting.
Now he's starting, and his body looks great. Like, so which is it, right?
I don't know, man. That one's a bit dicey. You're not. I'll say this: we're not nearly as deep as we thought at wide receiver. I think once you take certain guys out of the room, it looks a little funny, and it looks a little funny in the light. And I don't know, man. I keep looking at Xavier. And I'm like, bro, like, hey, look, it's got to happen now. We got rid of Mingo in year 2 because it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting rid of XL this year by any stretch, but we do need to see something. Like, it's the fact that a routine play, just drag your foot, that's supposed to be made by every receiver in the league.
That we've seen him make before, at least in college.
Yeah, and it's just mistakes like that mount up, and that on that very same drive you turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of those things. I would like for the guys that are playing to be able to execute. Like, if you trusted these guys all off season, then cool.
And that's the thing that like, and you don't want to harp on it, but like, you talk about slow starts, and you look like you're not on the same page. That's preseason's where you get on the same page.
Yeah.
The fact that it is in your second year now. Obviously, Corbett was out for most of last year, but you had the entire offseason. The first thing that should be able to be taken care of is getting a play call in.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. This is not Pop Warner.
And you're not. This isn't Peyton Manning out there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Making 15 checks at the line of scrimmage.
No.
Like we're just trying to get the initial call in.
Yeah.
Nothing's being done at the line of scrimmage, damn near. So why isn't that process cleaned up? But hey, this is what happens when we take PTO during the preseason.
Right. Exactly.
This is what happens when you have Brad Izzett calling plays, brother. You're not as fire of a play caller as you may.
No, you're not.
You're not nearly as proven as you would like to think either. You only called plays for 1 year in Tampa. Last year was your first year calling as a head coach. You need the repetition of calling plays with this quarterback who's in a prove-it year. Why is that time not being taken to get in sync? Like it can't just be practice. Practice doesn't always translate to the game. I understand football is a practice sport. Like most of the time you play football, you're practicing for the majority of it. But you need every single day. You need every single opportunity that you have in order to get it right. And taking that time off to allow other people to call plays like man, y'all not there yet.
No.
Y'all not there as a coaching staff.
No.
You letting Brad Izzett call plays, brother. We don't even know how long you'll be here if you can't figure it out.
And that's what's getting my goat. Like you can have all the talent in the world. We've seen because there's obviously the biggest discourse at social media was, is this a Bryce Young problem or is this a coaching problem? And I have been adamant in the past about my still distrust of Dave Canales as a play caller and as a head coach, to be honest, because you see, especially from a quarterback perspective, how much the right head coach can facilitate that talent or can absolutely curtail it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why you have Sam Darnold go to Minnesota and have genuine MVP consideration.
When you got the right coach, like a guy like Kevin O'Connell, and you look at what he did with Sam Darnold, and you look at what happened with him in their Monday night opener.
It took one half.
The right coach can make it right. Like if you're that good of a play caller, and this is what I'm saying, like if you're that good of a play caller, then you can make it right. And I thought Dave called. We thought Dave caught fire at the end of last year, around the same time Bryce did. I thought they kind of synced up, and that's when you started to see the ascension of those two. But right now, man, I'm not rolling. There's too many situations where I'm like, dog, it's short yardage, and we're not trusting our running back to go get it. Juba Hubbard is for better or for worse, Juba Hubbard's the best player on your offense right now. You need to lean on that. You need to lean on the identity of that group up front, which is big physical maulers. Let those boys get downhill.
You paid all that money for those guards.
Right.
Run in between them.
I don't need to see Bryce. Like again, I don't think Bryce at his best right now is going to be dropping back 30+ times.
No, because I mean, even if the snap does get off in time, Lord knows if it's actually going to go where it needs to go. And we all were very quick to forget that Austin Corbett is not a true center. There's not a true center on the roster because neither is Cade Mays. Both of them, Cade Mays did incredibly serviceable last year to the point where he probably could have gotten a gig somewhere else. And I don't understand, the benefit of having Corbett there, though, is once he snaps that ball, you have 3 guards next to each other. So run in between them or utilize them because outside of the tackles were not it. Like, Timo, I think, did a great job.
Yeah,
Yosh, for what he was asked to do against Hines Allen, I thought did do about as good as Icky would have done.
I would have to go back and facts, but I would have to go back and rewatch. But the grades, I saw those PFF grades.
Yeah,
it was not pretty.
No,
I think Yosh ended up with a 27.
Yeah.
So, Icky, that's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Hey, wasn't familiar with your game, big dog.
And we'll give them. You talk about losing your 2 wide receivers the week before.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Icky the week before to an unexpected appendectomy, which isn't that's not like any other injury. You can't just rub some dirt on it, stretch it out, and get back out there.
Right.
You have to make sure your insides are okay. So that definitely threw them for a loop and changed up some game plans. So there's room to give all right, I understand you were working with a lot of different things, but having it to where route trees are stacking up on each other. like, either receivers were running past where they were supposed to be to the point where, like, Bryce was, like, having to go back and say, like, you were supposed to be here, not there, or Bryce is not able to throw it to them where they need to be. And then outside of that, like, I mean, we can talk about it, and we'll talk about it for a lot, the fourth and goal.
Yeah.
Which, if I have to look back correctly, it wasn't even 4th and goal. If I'm not mistaken, it was 4th and, like, 8 from, like, the 10. They could have picked up a first down.
I'll have to go back and look at it. I can't sit there. I can't sit there.
Matt, do you remember? Was it 4th and goal or 4th down? Like, they could have picked up a first. It was 4th and goal? Okay. I might have to look that up because I could have sworn it was. But either way, and as you're giving your take, I can look and see. Either way, whether it was, there's a lot of stipulation on whether or not T-Mac ran the right route on it. And the all-22, it looked as though, JT and T-Mac were supposed to cross over the middle, which is why Jatavion was so open, because T-Mac didn't run the right route. But obviously the hot route was on XL, which in that red zone situation I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But with T-Mac not running where he was supposed to, XL gets immediately covered up.
Yep.
And
got two receivers in the same spot. That's never supposed to happen for any offense, especially in that, because the hope is this is gonna be a natural pick. It's gonna be a natural pick. XL's open at the front pylon of the end zone. Should be a touchdown.
Yeah. But clearly Bryce was upset with the play call.
It could have been the play call, or it could have been the execution. He could have been tight at bro, dog just ran the wrong route. Like he blew the whole play up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, when you are relying on a rookie receiver to be your best receiver, those things will happen. These are the growing pains of the NFL. No matter how good we think he is, he's gonna have some rookie moments, and that was probably one of those that ended up changing the game for us. Because I mean, like you scored that touchdown. What was the score at that point? Was it like 20?
That's what I'm looking up right now. So it was let's see. Was this the downs? 8 plays, 55 yards. Yeah. Okay. Here's what it was. It was 4th and 1 at Jacksonville's 5-yard line.
Here it is.
They could have picked up the first down. They did not have to swing for the fences. And that probably is what frustrated Bryce to say, why are we going for the end zone?
And here it is. Back to my previous point. Go with the identity of your offensive line. If you have Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis in the interior line and you can't pick up a yard, hey, man, F it. We don't even need to get that yard anyway, if that's the case.
No. And the worst part about it, it's 20-3 at that point. This is in the second half. So you had not only an abbreviated halftime, but damn near an hour and 17 minutes to go in there and really say, all right, what's the best way we can get back on track? Because before the delay, I believe it was just 10-3.
Yeah, it was 10-3 before the delay.
And then that's when they score a touchdown and a field goal. They get the field goal off your punt, and then they get, because that was when they had the frickin' the 71-yard run too, which
Nick Scott.
Yeah.
Hey man, how long we want to wait till we get to that?
So let's finish out the offense. Let's give them their due, and then we can switch over to the defense because that was ridiculous in my opinion. And then you have the next drive. Bryce unfortunately gets the fumble, right?
Yeah.
And the turnovers, like on the first interception, we both said it. Why not run the ball?
Right.
It's 2nd and 1. You did not need to, and that's still where you could put on Bryce to where he feels like he has to ball out.
Yeah.
But like you should have tucked and run.
XL also should be working back to the quarterback.
He should be.
He did drift up. He did drift upfield. That does allow for that safety to undercut. Like that, there's a lot of things that could have happened there. But at that point, just run it.
Of course, then that could lead to, like Matt was saying earlier, then you get peanut punched 2 drives later when you do scramble.
Well, see, this is where I ask, and this is me from a fan's perspective. I do ask, like, hey, at what point is there a time in the offseason you can work on how to slide? If you've had this problem before, because you had it last year, you go back to the Dallas game last year, same thing happens. It ends up in points for Dallas. Like if you keep having a ball control problem, why don't we go to somebody? Like you have all offseason to figure this out.
And don't get us wrong, the media, we have asked. And we've gotten either coach speak or like kind of brushing it off like, yeah, it's funny, like I just I never learned, and that's what's upsetting to me. Like, no, this is a clear problem. If it's causing you to be put either in dangerous situations or, to be vulnerable to allow for the ball to get popped out, it's something you need to correct. And it's like no one kind of, takes it seriously. Even like I have some issues, with some of the answers that, Dave gives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coach speak, like, you know,
Right.
it's a great day. No, it's not, Dave. Stop it. It's not a great day. It'll be a great day once you start winning.
Not
You know, like, he wouldn't speak on what the conversation was between the two of them, which is fair. I didn't think they were going to.
Yeah, of course.
Bryce is normally very above board and gives, you know, as honest answers as he feels like he can. But then, like, we asked him, you know, a couple days ago, like, what was the issue with the snaps? Like, you know, the ones that were too high or out of the way. And he was like, you know, until y'all asked, like, I didn't even realize, like, I didn't even register that there was issues with the snap. Not with the count, mind you, but with the snaps itself.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking there, and I'm like, dog, one of them hit you in the face. Like, what do you mean you didn't notice it?
I'm gonna take that as, hey, look, I'm looking out for the homie, bro. I'm looking out for the homie. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus right now. I'm just gonna hold it down, and I'm like, I didn't even know. What snap? Bro?
Yeah, that plausible deniability is not going to get you any wins there.
Nah.
But no, so like, yeah, we talked about it. Just like, and it seemed like they weren't throwing the ball until like, or even like trying to throw the ball past the line of scrimmage until 3rd and long or 4th and long.
Yeah, and here's my thing too, man. With that, like, XL's not the guy for that. I don't believe. When you try, like, especially if you're not gonna block it up, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you, I mean, just to be clear, he's better when he's rolling. Once you get him rolling, and so again, the drag route where that pass gets picked off, I understand probably want to go to XL because that is the route where, like, hey, if we can get him rolling,
Yeah.
let him get ahead of steam. You know what I'm saying? He can, you know, he can start chugging. But I look at a guy like Jimmy Horn, and for some of the things they were trying to do, some of the quick outs, some of those things, like, hey, that's probably where you want that guy out there, the quick twitch guy. You know what I'm saying? Hunter Renfrow, you know, solid as he is. I mean, I think we understood what Jimmy Horn was bringing to the table, and now that, you know, Adams out of the room and Jalen's down, we need to see him. Unfortunately, he's going to get forced into duty well before probably they wanted to, because I mean, if you sat him this week with he was a non-injury sit, like he didn't, nothing was reported to be wrong with him. At least now from what I know. I mean,
I was scratching my head a little bit that one. You figure Coker goes down, like, obviously Coker's taller,
right?
But from a speed perspective and a utilization perspective, like, we talked about the reasonings why we liked Jimmy Horn on the roster, why you would maybe over like someone like Hunter Renfrow, who just provided at the time a carbon copy skill set to Adam Thielen.
Right.
So if you want to keep him on the practice squad, hope he doesn't get poached, then you can bring him in if, you know, Thielen gets hurt or whatever. Even and then, like, when they put all the love into Bryson Tremaine, okay, well, he's another 6'3",
right,
like, big body.
And you're not giving him any targets.
No, so like, what is he bringing to the table?
Brother, he's just running clear out routes.
Right, and so, like, put Jimmy Horn in there, because now you, like, your fastest receiver, I guess.
What, the fastest receiver to that point, I guess, aside from Jimmy Horn, I guess it would be XL.
That's I guess, but I mean, honestly, got probably a 3-way tie between
different kind of speed though.
Right,
It's like this is Jimmy Horn's quick twitch.
Yeah.
Like, soon as that ball's in his hands, is bam bam go. You know what I'm saying? Jitterbug type speed.
And like it was cute, and I get it. He's your homeboy, and you're gonna bring him wherever you can. And David Moore is a great veteran presence in the locker room. He's a great guy. I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah.
In real game time scenarios, I don't need targets going to you.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a little spent when it comes down to how we're gonna operate this offense. I think my whole thing is, if this team's gonna be any type of successful, it needs to funnel through the ground game.
Yeah.
I don't care what year it is for Bryce Young or how many receivers we get. This team is at its best when they can control the line of scrimmage. Keep that defense on the sideline for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Like there is no need. And I mean Rico. I mean, how many did Rico Dowdle get? Did he register a carry? I swear I don't remember if he did.
I can tell you that right now, and it's gonna upset me because I don't think he did.
I know it's about to upset me. I don't think he did.
And that's the other thing about, like, and we can that feeds into my larger point as well. He had 3 carries for 12 yards.
Okay.
You know, ETN even had 1 carry for 4 yards. So they get him in. But then, like, you know, Tremble had 1 target. Jatavian had 2 catches. You know, for me, like,
he had a
we talked about he had a bad drop too, but we talked about this tight end room, and he was the same way too. He's the better when you get him going, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this tight end room and the utilization of it, like, nothing.
Yeah.
And, like, if you figure if your wide receivers aren't, like, getting the matchups you want or the utilization you want, try to spread that field, look a little bit in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not able to get plays to process quick enough, those dump outs to, tight ends can be very beneficial. And so that's where just, like, I think it all boils down to you did not pay enough attention in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't prioritize it well enough, and so now you're underprepared from an offensive perspective.
Yep.
And from a talent, like, for the sake of talent, like, you need to establish a rhythm. You've got new pieces, you've got young pieces, and you need to establish some sort of rhythm. And I think if there's anybody that either side of the ball that can have a rhythm that actually allows for them to be successful, it is the offense.
Yeah.
To have 3 points going into the fourth quarter is ridiculous. And you saw what, and maybe they weren't giving a damn by that point, but you saw what one working route to Chuba was able to do.
Yeah.
You had the right play call, and Chuba goes for the longest touchdown, longer than most of the touchdowns we had last season.
Right. And I mean, I look at the reason why you brought Rico Dowdle in. I said, isn't Rico Dowdle supposed to be a receiving back?
And that's what I like. It's like you don't understand the purposes of what you brought these people in to do.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, is there a disconnect between Dave and Dan where Dan is bringing these guys in and Dave doesn't know what to do with them? Or, are they not, like, able to fit into the system that they've got for them? And so that's what I have no clue.
I really don't. Now, all that being said, I know how it sounds. It sounds like we have no faith whatsoever. I actually do have more faith right now than I did last year. And I have more faith going into this Arizona game where I do feel like things can be rectified.
And I think that's where the outcry comes from. Like, we were talking about this in the pre-show, right? Like, why does it feel like the sky is falling? And I think that's because there was a lot more hope with this iteration of this team than they've had in years past. Canales' first year, Bryce had it, nowhere near of a we knew if Bryce had played like he did the second half of his season last year, that things were going to be better.
Yeah.
And you were hoping that was going to be the case. And then, of course, the weeks happened the way they do, and the hope kind of wavered. But going into this season, he had a much longer and more fruitful, maybe not from a win column perspective, but at least from a box score, a much more fruitful renaissance that second half of the season. From a spreading the ball perspective, like spreading the love, everybody was keying in on it, right? Yeah. And then to have this kind of goose egg the way you played, and whether it was the delay or whether it was, the injuries or what have you, you were going up against another coach that should have been unprepared. No. Like, working with marginally the same weapons they had last year because Travis Hunter was a non-factor.
Yeah, I mean, had some nice plays, I guess.
Yeah, but
nothing that was like.
No. Etienne remembered how to play running back.
Did Etienne remember how to play running back, or was Nick Scott just on the field?
So this is a great segue to the defense, right? I think we might have – I apologize to all the fantasy football users out there. I think we might have given you all false hope about Etienne because we know that you get your money as a running back against this defense.
So much false hope that they traded Tank Bigsby.
Right?
Like I say, that's how much false hope they got.
To a team that
I knew it was going to happen. You play Carolina, bro, you either going to get paid or you're going to get traded.
Yeah, to a team that doesn't even need another running back. They're using him for a kick returner. That's all they need. That's crazy. Yeah, and so, I mean, that's the thing. Hope in the offense, hope in the team. Defense is exactly what we thought it was, and now worse in the wake of how long it will take Turk to come back to field.
Exactly. Turk Ward, now I will say Turk Ward, in the few plays that he did get to play, looked amazing. Looked like every single bit of the guy that we thought we were getting when you didn't get Milton Williams.
Yeah.
He looked every single bit of the part, but now that he's gone, and I look at my linebacking room, and we knew this was going to be a problem anyway.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
atrocious.
When you have opportunities to go get guys like Ernest Jones, right?
Sitting there.
Guys like Jermaine Pratt are also
sitting there,
right? You know what I'm saying? But we don't make a move for none of those. Like, not the GM, that's a former linebacker.
All-pro.
You know what I'm saying?
That played with other all-pro linebackers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
For a team whose literal logo and slogan is a linebacker. It's
so we didn't prioritize that.
No.
And it looks like you didn't prioritize it when the game hit because Christian Rose, Boone, Trevin Wallace, neither one of those guys they had a clue.
At all.
Like, so, I mean, at this point, with the defense, man, play my young guys. I'm not waiting on some of these guys to figure it out. Dog, I'd rather play Bam Martin Scott.
I absolutely would.
Now, do I think he's going to be any better? Not really, but
At least I like.
At least he's a rookie.
Right, and there's at least some semblance of like, okay, it makes sense. Like if you were, that's the problem. Like this offense is being built to not rebuild per se, but also to not really swing for the fences, right? Like you put a lot of money in the offensive line to hope to stay for a little while. You give Timo the contract that he's going to end his career with.
Right.
You're figuring out what are we going to do with Icky on the other side, and we got to get a true center. And that's what pissed me off about Dan Morgan and getting Jonathan Brooks, which of course it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if Brooks doesn't goes down and can come into a full second year.
But to be real, Brooks was coming off an ACL,
and
so you knew he wasn't going to be available.
And you had Zach Frazier coming out of West Virginia, sitting right there, ripe for the plucking at a true center who's starting right now. But that's neither here nor there.
For sure.
The defense is exactly what we thought it was. Mm-hmm. When all three of them were there, Ashawn, DB, and Turk looked great. Turk now, like off the concussion, I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I would have rather had the concussion in my opinion because now with a hamstring injury,
brother, that's a month at minimum.
And that's I'm gonna put it bluntly. He's a big man. It's a lot of weight on those hammies. There's nothing to say that thing won't tear again. And then that's when you're screwed, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's very hard to not get injured again off of a hamstring injury.
Yeah, it's delicate.
And so what really upsets me is that has now you're in the point where now you're at the point where, it's either like Cam Jackson or now you re-sign Crumity,
right,
who you had just kicked to the practice squad to bring in. Like that's who they mentioned first, not Cam Jackson, Jaden Crumity. And I'm like, okay, well, why did we draft Cam Jackson? This 300-pound,
right,
6'7",
God.
And we know Avero doesn't like to play rookies. We know he doesn't like it.
But this is why, also, and I said this on my podcast, Jim Dropper Sports, you know what I'm saying? Y'all boys tap in.
Shameless plug.
But I said, look, this is why you don't keep a guy around that doesn't have the same timeline as you if you're Dave Canales. When your goals on the line and you're in a press, you're the head coach. Imagine, this is your man. It's your show. It's your everything. And you got to sit there in a press and be like, yeah, I'd like to play my, some younger guys. Well, and this your shit. And it's you. And
that's what kills me.
This is not your team.
That's what kills me.
Now I understand. Hey, look, we gave I knew they probably gave Avero full autonomy over the defense. You don't want to overstep your back. You want to let coaches that you hired to do their job. But brother, let me tell you something right now. Right here, dog. I done seen Avero for 3 years now. I done seen enough. There's nothing that man has done with having the full autonomy to run the show has helped me have any sort of presence of mind that we're going to stop the run, that we can get key stops. Hey, there's a 4th and 1 early in that game. That if you would have got it.
And the fact that Liam Cohen
got the balls to say,
the cojones,
man, I'm going to drop him right here.
On his own side of the field in the first quarter.
But that was a great, but to give credit to Liam Cohen, hey, that's how you come out in your first game as a head coach at home.
Absolutely.
That's how I'm a Sam Cassell. Yeah, I'm walking around with him.
Like, what? That's crazy. And to me, even if Avero had shown something in terms of, what he wanted to do with this process. Mm-hmm. Every guy that he's brought in that supposedly has great chemistry and a knowledge of this system has done bupkiss with it.
Like the chemistry must end once y'all done talking over the phone. The chemistry ain't never translated to the field.
No.
It's never translated to making plays. None of it.
Deshaun Robinson, Shai Tuttle, Nick Scott, what was the other cornerback? Dane Jackson. You bring in guys that either had familiarity with Dan Morgan or with Avero. And neither you in your first season said, okay, let's draft up for DJ Johnson. That's my guy. And then what has he done? It's a waste of a roster spot, in my opinion.
And what's the point of drafting guys like Princely and Nick Score? Now, obviously, Nick Score is still coming off of injury, his situation. So we'll see him more as time goes along.
Princely got 6 snaps. 6.
Yeah. Nah, not rolling. Why? Because why do we take these guys?
And that's what gets my goat. And, to be honest, also, all that to say, your system is not, your system does not work for the guys that you have. If you want your system to work, here's what you do. Either cut everybody else that isn't named Derek Brown, Ashawn Robinson, and Cam Jackson. Make them what they are as true defensive tackles. Stop putting I love Derek Brown and I love Ashawn Robinson. They're not defensive ends.
Why?
They're not defensive ends. You mean to tell me they're playing the same position that you got Micah Parsons coming up from the second level to play? Or Trey Hendrickson?
Why is Derek Brown lined up on the other side of the offensive tackle?
It doesn't work.
Like what pass rush is he gonna give me from the edge?
Even if he can, and again, all the love in the world to these guys because their bodies are machines. They work them as best as you can for like an athlete perspective. Even if you're making a spin move off the tackle, you still have to get to that quarterback.
Yeah.
And in the time frame that you're going to actually cause an issue. But when you run a 3-4, if you're not blitzing your linebackers, which you never are.
You never are.
It's 3-on-5. That math don't math.
And you're not filling gaps.
No.
You know
You've got two big-ass gaps in the middle.
Yeah.
So,
and I got linebackers that don't know. Got linebackers that don't have a sense of direction with a damn compass on their ass. Bro.
No.
Like
they couldn't cover a shift at Buc-ee's if they wanted to.
You feel?
Like I don't understand. So what you do is you switch to a 4-3. You put Ashawn and Derek Brown in the middle.
You clog up some running lanes.
You clog them up. You can exclusively play Princely and Nick Scorton on the edge. Keep them there. You want DJ Johnson to come in? Sure, fine. That's okay.
All right.
Then you have your three of either DJ Wanham, Pat Jones, and Christian Roseboom. Those are your three because I'm bringing fucking sorry. I'm bringing this is how upset I am. I'm bringing help me.
Who are you talking about?
Linebacker. Trevin Wallace.
Trevin Wallace.
I'm bringing him off the edge too. He's not big enough to be off the edge, but he can be fast enough.
I damn near think he's better. I think Trevin Wallace is damn near better if you make him a crash dummy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's gonna be where he's best at.
That's what I'm saying.
As far as him sitting back and being able to read and dissect and go attack, it's not. It just doesn't seem like it's clicking. It's clicking for him.
Because you're already like linebackers are already going to be a mismatch on most tight ends.
Right.
And unless you've got him shadowing the slot.
Oh, you got Trey McBride this week. So.
Well, I got him on two teams on fantasy, so I'm sitting pretty this week. I'm starting Kyler. I'm starting Trey McBride. I'm starting the Cardinals defense. I'm starting all of it. That's not insider trading or nothing. But you have to change your front seven because it's not working, and you're putting it to where you're now like in the littlest amount of defense possible.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that Nick Scott is not good enough to have made it to this point in the NFL. But when he has to cover for more than 5 seconds,
Nick Scott should be replacing Lathan Ransom on all the special teams.
Yes, and vice versa.
Yeah, you be the crash dummy on punt team, all that good stuff. Like, yeah, that's your job. Lathan Ransom, I will learn and grow with you, and I can deal with whatever comes with it. Like that's
the other thing. So I'm putting Lathan Ransom back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting Morig up there, but I'm having Morig crash the boards a lot because I didn't love him in coverage.
No.
Mike Jack's fine, but let JC travel.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. No other team do you see your starting Pro Bowl caliber cornerback not shadow the number one wide receiver.
He still finds a way to make plays.
Of course.
And then shout out to JC for that. Like, he is the most consistent corner I can say I've seen in a long time. Whenever he's out there, dog, they're not trying it.
No.
They're not trying it. I thought those two play well. I thought Mike Jack and JC both play well. They look like the best.
I think Mike, in my opinion, does a great job all the time. And I don't, there are plays where he can get burned.
Yeah.
But, like, had he not gotten that pass interference, because it was definitely pass interference, that was a pick. He almost picks off that first pass.
Yeah.
But, and that's what I'm doing. And if you want to keep your 3-4, fine. But then you play a 3-2 and then 5. Or a 3-3-5. Play nickel all the damn time.
I don't know, man. It's just like, for me, it's like I don't know. It's hard watching football when you can't stop the run. It's demoralizing.
It is.
Like, it's really, like, I really have a hard time watching football knowing we can't stop anybody from running the rock.
It makes, watching, what Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Josh Allen do, like a whole different sport.
Yeah.
That that Sunday Night Football game looked like a different game.
Because football looks hard to us in Carolina. The last time football didn't look hard was when Steve Wilkes was here. And obviously I know people get tired of hearing about that, like, that that 8-9 game stretch of Steve Wilkes. But my only issue is this. I'm like, dog, like, when's the last time you saw a Panther team look competent? Like when you just simply get back to the basics, you run the football. Mind you, guess who was on that team, right? Guess who was running back for that team?
Been
Chuba
Hubbard. Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard. I mean, I know obviously Deontay Foreman was also there.
Deontay Foreman, yeah. But it would have
Chuba
been Chuba
Hubbard.
Hubbard.
But they were dual back system. They ran the rock, and they play and
400-yard games with a line that's worse than what we have now.
Come on,
and that's
bro.
the prime example of what good coaching can do to flip talent on a roster. Sam Darnold was your starting quarterback.
yeah, he figured it out.
J.C. Horn was there, and if he not got injured, then they had to put in freaking
You have receivers you think we think are clearly worse, aside from DJ Moore.
absolutely worse,
Like-
and you had cornerbacks that were worse.
You figured it out.
Like, you are able to make it work, and that's the prime example because you're right. It allows you to understand, like, where you need from a talent perspective. You talk about, like, playing competent football. My God. They're in the red zone. The Jags are in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it was a timeout, a penalty, a TV timeout, blowing the play dead. And it's a motion reverse to Brian Thomas Jr. that blows dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
They run the same damn play the next snap, and it works, and they score a touchdown off of it. Did nobody see, hey, he's running a motion and going to take a handoff? Like, and Liam Cohen was under, he said, they're fine. They didn't notice it. Run it again. Because he knew.
Y'all should be embarrassed, man.
I am. Duval got you and made you look like you don't know how to play football.
That boy dropped, man. He dropped it off on y'all boys, man. He dropped it off on y'all. Like, he really just.
Like, he's who Canales thinks he is.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And, like, that's sad to say because I like Canales as a motivator. I like him as a person.
It feels like he's more, but it's giving more of a coordinator than it is a head coach.
I go reverse of that. I think, because you do see a lot of times the great coaches can stray away from play calling, be them like Dan Campbell, right?
Yeah.
Be that motivator, have your guys ready to run through a brick wall for you, keep their heads on the right perspective. Mm-hmm. For me, it's only very rarely often that the coach that's actually calling the plays is successful. Bill Belichick, right? Like,
right.
Kyle Shanahan, right? Like, even like a Mike McDaniels when things are going well, right?
Right.
But I think more often than not, like, especially what the Panthers have always had, John Casey, Ron Rivera, like guys that were motivators, not the play callers. I think the best thing that Dan, look at, if Dave's your best friend, if you've been sharing, office neighbors in Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. Do something nice for your friend and hire him coordinators. Get Avera out the door.
Yeah.
Get Idzik out the door. I know you like him. Either demote him to tight end coach and keep him there or get him out the door and hire this man some real coordinators. Go out there with your scouting team. You don't really need to scout super hard for like players this year. You know what your holes are. Just find good players.
Yeah.
Get some good coordinators because I think that is the only thing that saves Dave Canales' job.
Yeah.
I think Dan is fine. And I hope if Dave goes, Tepper has the sense to keep Dan around because I think him and or promote Tillis.
Man, look, bro. Nah, you gotta clean the whole thing. Bro.
Even Tillis?
Nah, I mean,
I think Tillis is your gem that you've gotten. The fact
Yeah.
you're able to get him out of Kansas City.
I get, yeah, you're right. I don't know, man. Figure this shit out, bro. Like, I really don't even want to think about what we would need to do in the future. Brother,
I know.
Just figure this out.
I know.
We have a game against Arizona. I would like for y'all to look more confident this week than you were the last week. I would like for us to have a semblance of flow and rhythm to the offense. Get your guys going. Like you said, get JT some early touches. Get Tremble some early touches. Make it easy for Bryce. You know what I'm saying? Establish the ground game. Try to be physical. You know what I'm saying? Try to establish a physical presence in that game that you can lean on in the fourth quarter. Keep games tight. Keep them close and be able to utilize the running backs that you sign.
It's as simple as that. And that's the thing. Like, you've got a personalized belt with Arizona's name on it that you've utilized even when the team is trash. Like, that's almost a gimme half the time that you can take Arizona to task.
South Carolina Vandy-like type of belt. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully. So if you can't make it work against Arizona and find your rhythm against Arizona, which has a better offense
Mm-hmm.
and has just as dangerous of a defense as it had last year, if not a little bit more so. So, like, you got to figure something out. So, we'll go score prediction. What are you thinking?
Give me Arizona for the win. Let's make it 21-10.
I'm getting real tired of these 10-point games, not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting real tired of only putting up 10 points a game. Like, that's what the preseason was.
Yep.
That's what week 1 was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's what the beginning of the season was for the first 6-7 weeks. So, like, I'm not going to be ever satisfied with any loss. But at least make it a shootout. I know this defense is atrocious. Even if it's 28-21, I'll feel a little bit more hopeful.
I guess.
But if it's 28-10 or 21-10, I just don't know how many more weeks I can keep doing that, to be really quite honest.
Yeah, I'm a quit rocking merch.
I'm only rocking this merch to advertise the great selection that they have here at Locker Room Charlotte. You can see it all behind us. That's the only reason I'm wearing this stuff right now.
You can see I'm not rocking merch. I'm probably going to start going to sleep at halftime if y'all don't get this figured out soon. Just keep it up band with you. But that's where I'm at.
It's just be like, just get your stuff together. Get a bag, put all the stuff in the bag, have it together, take it, and use it. Like, it's as simple as that. Let Bryce, like, be Bryce, but lean on Chuba to allow for him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, keep it simple. Like, you have, other than, like, Hunter Renfrew, who can, like, you know, can be that creative, you know, it's pretty simple with T-Mac and XL. They're athletes.
Yeah, take some shots, dog.
Like, just let them be athletes.
We need more shots down the field, man.
Let them be athletes.
All of this short. And I understand what defenses are doing. Defenses are playing that too high shell. They're keeping everything in front of them. Man, F that, bro. You gotta bomb it at least a couple times just to let them boys know that you ready and willing.
Yeah.
And to possibly force a penalty.
At this point,
more times than not, like hell, at this point, the deep ball in today's game is then they're just used to get free yards.
You're gonna get spot fouls, so why not?
Yeah, at that point.
Either way, but until then, keep pounding.